Hello everyone, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon. So last episode, Shiki is, I guess, getting worse and worse, right? Roa is trying to take over, I suppose. But we are still having Shiki back, right? So I don't know how Shiki is gonna counter this. If he can even counter that, right? From Roa emerging out of him or him being taken over fully. So anyways, let us continue. Let's see what happens today. Day 13, Mirage. So many days? I think we went up to day 14 in Arcoades route, right? Yeah, I think day 14 was the last one. The hours flow thick, hot, and slow like molten metal. I can't bring myself to look at my bloodied right hand. My broken fingers reset, the blood flow stops, and the wound closes. The regeneration is so unnatural, it's so hard to believe my own body is responsible for it. A bestial panting fills the room from wall to wall. I still haven't slept a wink when the sun rises. My head is throbbing. I must have dropped my glasses at some point during the night. Now I can't find them. Imagine if you dropped his glasses outside. What happens then? You only have one pair? Strange that I've lost something so important. But that's always the way with important things. The room is covered in clusters of lines so thick it makes me want to vomit. Overwhelmed by nausea, I decided to cut them all and be done with them. It makes me feel a little better. But I wonder what Hisui is gonna say. Hisui, Kohaku, Akiha. Like Shiki's destroying his own room now. Every time something falls apart, the pain eases slightly. But the more I cut, the fiercer my craving when it returns. I know. Okay, I know now what it is I crave. Everything I want everything. Everything I see fills me with rage. It's all so unsightly. What meaning is there in living and propagating when your end is assured? When you're bound by such obvious constraints, ill-conceived, pathetic every time or everything I see disgusts me. So I close my eyes, but all that awaits me in the darkness are memories of how it felt to kill. The feeling of a hard, spotless blade. Becoming one with soft, pulsating flesh. The mental trauma enough to cripple a higher mammal's wits. The repulsive sensation so sickening I want to bite off my tongue. The despair at having fallen so far as I can fall. Once this feeling has been known, it cannot be unknown. And to damn me further, my first partner was exquisite beyond compare. The excitement I felt as I carved our Kuwait into 17 pieces is permanently seared into my mind, digging my knife into her flawless body. Cutting through the inhuman blaze of her life greater than her vessel of flesh could contain, that moment of perfect ecstasy was my ruin. What's the name of this chapter? Mourning? Just a mourning? Okay. It wasn't her body that was broken then, but my brain. I'm so tired. I want to destroy something in its prime. I want to kill something brimming with life. Part of me knows it's wrong, but now taboo can restrain this urge. My arousal is burning from the inside out.
シキ様、起きていらっしゃるのですか?
A woman's voice comes from the other side of the door. How can you tell her this? The sound of it fills me with terror.
シキ様、着替えをお持ちしました。お目覚めでしたら鍵をお開けください。
Open the door. open the door and inside. I can't let that happen. There's no telling what I might do. By hiding myself away and curling up into a ball, I've only barely managed to contain my urges. If I were to let something in, something so easy to kill, I guess, then.
うるさい俺に構うな
I yell with all the strength I can muster.
四季様、体調が優れないのですか？
構うなって言ってるだろいいから一人にさせてくれ
If she opens the door, if she comes in, I know I'll do something that can't be undone. After a short pause, I hear her footsteps recede. They fade quietly down the hallway. I'm safe again for now. I can't blank anyone if there's no one around for me to. That thought brings me some comfort. I need a distraction. Maybe I should try reading a book. It's not here. From biographies written in a variety of languages, to ships' logbooks detailing the voyages of past travelers, the sunroom has no shortage of books, more than enough to pass the time, even if they aren't stimulating. But no matter how hard I look, I can't find the one I was reading. Where could it have gone? In mounting panic, I try to picture the cover of the book. But my memories come back empty. Wait, now that I think about it, what was it doing in my room in the first place? I've had no title, no author, no publisher to speak of. It was just a long, bizarre story about a long, bizarre life. I searched the bookshelf. Since it's not on the table, maybe I put it back. No, it's not there, but shouldn't there be a gap on the shelf where the missing book would go? Then why did the spines form one perfect unbroken row? I'm drawing nothing but blanks. I can't remember where my book fit on the shelf. I can't remember pulling it down or opening it. Come to think of it, was it ever really there at all? If you ever turned into one, get out of my head. A grating female voice whispers into my ears. The book I found, the story it held. I read it to pass the time when I couldn't sleep. But what if all along I really was asleep and simply dreaming that I was awake? It's possible. Cry and scream like a miserable wretch. Blubber pitifully that you don't want to. Blank as you slit your own throat. So it was all just a dream. But I don't dream. Even if I did, where would my subconscious get that kind of material? I'd never seen any of those things before. So they can have been my dreams. You just haven't realized it yet. But then, what were they? How would I be dreaming someone else's dreams? The real Shiki died years ago, and all that's left is a murdering psychopath. No. My memories are just muddled, that's all. I gave into my urges once. What Arc Wade was special and different. Otherwise, I could have kept them under control. I'm not crazy. I'm not. CL is finally back in my life. I can't afford to go insane now. I mean, you are going insane actually. But that's how it always goes. All of Roa's hosts think they're normal until...
黙れって言ってるだろ
My breath comes in ragged gasps. The touch of the sunlight fills me with fury. My throat is so dry I might go bad.
シキ様、何をしていらっしゃるんですか？シキ様。
A woman's voice comes from the other side of the door. I didn't know how to answer. The right words won't come out. All I can think about... all I can see is basically just slashing her. Is myself growling and screaming. As I surrender to my impulses. Blank, 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 blank. Something's wrong with my head, so I smash it against the wall. Again and again until it feels like it's going to split open. But the thought of cutting to pieces just won't get away. Ah, now I see. This impulse of trying to bend my mind to madness. This helplessness as my identity and my memories are slowly twisted to a new purpose. This fear as I watch myself turn into something else. This is him. This is Roa. Someone knocks at the door. I can't open it. If I do, there's no going back. Those dreams must have been the previous Roa's memories. The final days of some unknown soul who tried to hide themselves away only to succumb, murder their own parents, and transform their hometown into a necropolis. There's nothing I can do. Not even that would be a solution. I truly have no way out. Those dreams have taught me that. I've seen what my predecessors saw, felt what they felt. So I know that even if I were to do that, only I would die. Ro would live on with full control over my body. I mean, how does it work again? For example, let's say Shiki, right? He killed himself. What happens then? I mean, let's say the body is done, right? Like the body is dead. Could Roa still possess that and still be alive? I forgot. Did they say that? I don't remember. I mean, but yeah, they're saying here, Roa would live on with full control over my body. And that would only make the coming nightmare worse. But yeah, then earlier, he was saying that his regeneration was pretty unnatural, right? Because it was so fast. So I guess if he did that, yeah, he would just heal himself.
Shiki-sama, 開けてください。Shiki-sama.
Knock knock. A woman's voice comes from the other side of the door. It is a familiar voice, but the word it speaks sound like foreign language. She sounds so far away. Only a single flimsy wall stands between us. But I might as well be on the moon, hearing her shout to me from the earth. The hour hand creeps past 10. Finally, she gives up and leaves. Multiple women take turns and knocking at the door, but I ignore them all. 12 p.m. I am starving, but I can't tough it out. I lean against the wall and wrap my arms around my trembling body. Look how destroyed his room now. I'm so thirsty, I could die. Time has started to flow strangely. Sometimes 10 minutes pass by in a second, sometimes a second drags on for 10 minutes. Stimulants pump into my bloodstream impulses. Far off in all directions, my body brims with energy while my mind atrophies. 4 p.m. More knocking. A voice calls through the door. I can't tell who it belongs to. I can't even recognize the name they're repeating. Like, come on. It's been hours and they didn't even check. Let's say the outside. You can see the windows, right? And maybe they could go to the outside and then check what's happening inside the room. Couldn't have they done that? Or maybe they done that already, right? 5 p.m. Steadily darkness creeps in. 6 p.m. The 7, then 8, and then 9 until nighttime comes. 8 p.m. Someone's here.
四季さん、夕ご飯を持ってきました。朝から何も食べていないのでは参ってしまいますよ。
She knocks on the door.
もう、こうなったらお食事だけでも食べてもらえますからね。
There's a new sound, a rattling. Not a hand knocking on wood, but a key turning in a lock.
最後の切り札、マスターキーの出番ですよ。
So it took them until nighttime? The doorknob turns. Oh my god, what do we do here? I turn Kohaku away, I guess, right? Yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah. The door creaks open. It's all over. Yelling at her now won't stop her from coming in. Even so, eating dinner is out of the question. I couldn't bear where it would lead. The temptation would be irresistible. My parched throat and tattered self-restraint would crave relief. And the loss of my identity would vanish from existence, crushed beneath the weight of my desire. My breathing grows harder. I have to restrain myself. Somehow.
四季さん、中に入りますからね。ってどうなされたんですか、これ。
But she's not really that surprised, is that it? Kohaku's smile doesn't fade, but her eyes widen as she takes in the scoured or the scored walls and dismembered furniture. There is no shadow of fear on her sweet features. No trace of wariness in her all too vulnerable figure. Her porcelain skin, which may well have been sculpted for the sole purpose of driving men mad, glows with raw vitality.
四季さん、これはあんまりです。気が立ってしまう時は誰にだってあると存じていますが、これはちょっとやりすぎだと思いますよ。
There is no hesitation in her voice, no forced calm. Even after seeing the ruin I've made of my room, she approaches me with her usual tenderness. I can't hold it back, but I have to. I can't bear it, but I have to. I feel her trust, her compassion. If she still sees good in me, then I've got to shut myself away, even if that means cutting my own throat.
四季さん、おかしいですよ。 何があったらこんな風になっちゃうんですか？
But she won't let me. Smiling, Kohaku approached my fetal figure on the bed. Bad luck. Someone inside me sneers. This woman is no stranger to caring for the sick. She approaches me cautiously but gently, never dropping her kind smile for a second. I must not be the first beast she has had to treat. Hurry. Hurry. I don't want this. Stop. Hurry. Shut up. Hurry. I'm... Straining the last of my reason for its breaking point, I squeeze those words from my throat. It's a monumental effort.
ごめんなさい。よく聞こえませんでした。申し訳ありませんが、もう一度言っていただけます？
But it only makes things worse. Reassured that I'm no danger, suspecting nothing brings her face closer, ever closer to my trembling body and ravenous jaws. One pale finger touches my shoulder, filled with a pulsing blood, radiating gentle warmth, and sparks burst in the back of my head. Okay. I slam on the brakes, but the wires have been cut. My body is no longer my own. I can't fight my thirst for blood. I pour all my strength into my legs, trying to keep them from closing the distance. But it only achieves the opposite effect. I pour all my strength into my arms, trying to keep them from pinning her down. But I only succeed in tightening their grip. I fight to protect her with all I have. But none of me is working as it should. As a last resort, I bite off my tongue. If I can't breathe, my body should stop. Okay, I clicked the auto, man. I don't know how to stop it. Please stop. Please stop. But my right hand, the hand I've raised there open, her plunges into my mouth, keeping my tongue. And my left hand, I fight hardest of all until tears well into my eyes, until blood streams from my nose. But it won't let me move so much as a finger. And it coils around its prey like a snake. The dude is just stabbing himself. Jesus. And it squeezes tight around her pale throat. Is Kohaku gone? What happens now? Jesus, look at this. And then I come to. My gasping laughter brings me to my senses. The glasses I thought had disappeared are by my feet. Something lost, now found. I don't understand how I don't want to try, but now I can bring reality back into focus. And once I do... I see Kohaku's lying in front of me. Wait, Kohaku's body, I guess? She isn't moving. Maybe she's unconscious. Maybe she's dead. At this point, I can't even tell. All I am certain is the immutable reality of my deeds. My hands dangle uselessly by my sides, the left dripping scarlet, the right equally bloody from its attempt to stop the left. I felt a throbbing in my mouth as my tongue regrows. Me and her, blood and pain, that's all there is. I've lost my mind. I'm so far gone and there's no way back. With all my force of will, I couldn't stop a single finger. My brain shrivels up. My stomach threatens to expel everything. My guilt lapses into rising thirst. I long to grasp her pale throat, her inviting flesh, and sink my teeth in deep. I must be broken. Broken beyond repair. This is as far as I go. I don't think I can stay sane anymore. Out. I have to get out. If I stay here, I'm going to kill Kohaku. And if I stay in the mansion, I'll do the same to Akiha and Hisui. I have to get away before the urges come back. Jesus Christ. I have to lock myself away. I have to find somewhere to lock myself, or I'll go mad again. These Shiki's. I wish that they show Shiki's face while he's being what is it, manic like this. I flee the house like a starving beast. Like I can see his face, like his eyes, your crazy eyes, his mouth open, his tongue out, and then he's running away crazy. Perhaps I feel it on my skin, or perhaps my hearing has grown more acute. The ringing in my ears pierces through my brain. I don't see anyone nearby, but I sense a human being all around me, riddling the crazed cityscape. As long as I'm close to this steaming hive of insects, dense concentration of people, it's only a matter of time until I lose control again. I have to go somewhere I can be alone, where I can't cause any unintended harm. While I still can, while I'm still me, I have to hide away where I can hurt anyone. I make it to the park, an oasis of quiet at the heart of the business district. While it sees its share of visitors during daylight, now that night has fallen, it's silent as a grave. But even this dead zone is saturated with signs of human life. Breathing, coughing, overloud, chatter, it presses in on me from all sides like a cotton wool. I can't believe my own senses. I'm over 200 meters south of the station, but the clamor of the shopping district might as well be next door. The distant pinpricks of light that mark the residential district are so glaring I have to squint. I clap my hand to my forehead and try to ride out the headache. Looking for an escape in such a densely packed city was futile from the start. In the beating heart of human civilization, there is no such thing as solitude. So why fight it? Look around. You're just a short stroll away from all the prey you could ever want. Go on. The human organism has plenty of cells to spare. Besides, isn't everyone secretly hoping for somebody to call the excess? You'd be doing them a favor. Think of it like picking up litter. My head won't stop pounding. I wish whatever's in there would give it a rest. This headache already has me close to fainting. All I want to do is squeeze my eyes shut and block it all out. But I can't. I'm exhausted both mentally and physically, and I haven't slept a wink. If I close my eyes now, I'll pass out, and if I pass out, I'll never wake up again. My eyes might open, but it won't be me behind them. That scares me, horrifies me. But there's a way out, and before that happens, I have to take my knife and plunge it into my throat. To my shame, all I manage is to nick the skin, and then it heals instantly. So basically, he did nothing. I can't do it. Apparently, I value my life too much to sacrifice it for a what if. As though once long ago, I sort of make the most of every last borrowed second of it. Honestly, there's a lot happening in this, our part here. Not technically our part or what's happening now, but in general. So this is happening with Shiki, and then CL, she didn't leave, right? And then Noelle, Miss Noelle, yeah, wherever she is, she hasn't shown herself. So yeah, a lot of things are happening. Someone to watch over me, making sure I stay awake, making sure I stay sane. And yeah, Dr. Araka as well. Where is she? I don't want to hear her. I don't want her to see me like this, but it is the only way. You gotta call her. And besides, didn't she say to call her if anything happens? Yeah, something is really happening right now though. Clinging to that final lifeline, I take out my phone. I know I'm a lost cause. Not even CL can fix it inside of my head. All I'm doing is saddling her with an unfair burden. But I want to see her. I want to hear her voice. As long as she's there for me, I think I can stay as Shikitono. I find CL's number and hit call. It rings 3 times, then a cheerful voice crackles through the speaker.
Hi, もしもし、シエルです。
Is it a voice? What do you call it again? Forgot.
遠野くんから電話なんて珍しいですね。あ、いえ、珍しいというより、これが初めてでした。
I was saying voicemail, but it's actually her. Okay. How odd. Just the sound of her voice fills me with warmth. Yeah, he calmed down once he heard her voice.
もしもし、ケースキリア？もしかして、ただの操作ミスでしょうか。おーい、聞こえてますか？
She sounds like she doesn't have a care in the world. I've only been to her apartment once, but I can see her clearly in my mind's eyes, lounging around with her feet up. The words won't come. I can't think of anything to say. This was a stupid idea. I never should have called. I better cut my losses and hang up. Oh, we got the music from the main menu. But the warmth in her voice is too compelling. I can't help but croak out a reply.
よかった。つながっていますね。どうしたんです？こんな夜更けに。
For a moment, I might consider backing out. I opened my mouth to give her some excuse, promise to see her tomorrow and hang up. But I can't do it.
先輩、俺ダメみたいだ。
My words come out in a hoarse whisper.
遠野くん
Seal's voice takes on a hard edge.
遠野くんそれどういう意味ですかダメって何がダメなんです
Oh, she's serious now. Yeah.
だからダメなんだ。自分なりに何とかしてみようと努力はしたけど無駄だった。
A common killer of the lowest sort. That if I was in Shiki's shoes right now, I would say, Roa is taking over me. Come and help me. Even now, I catch myself imagining returning to the mansion and slitting Kohaku, I guess, Hisui's throats. If that's how I think about the people closest to me, I must be rotten down to the very core.
どうすればいいんだろう。俺自殺なんてできない。自分で自分を殺すなんてそんな手段。
その必要はありません今どこにいるんですか
南口の公園です。人気がないところに来たつもりだけどここもダメでした。周りに家が多すぎて頭が痛い。
わかりました人気を避けるのは私も賛成です
Man, I think CL got the gist of it though. Because as he said that Miss Noel was right because Miss Noel is basically saying that, oh, you're gonna be Roa, right? So CL got it. That it is actually happening to him now.
ブローブと戦ったデパート跡に向かってくださいあそこなら誰も近寄らないし何より静かでしょ
そうか。あの場所なら誰もいない。
遠野くんならバリケードの隙間を切って中に入れるでしょ先に忍び込んで地下で待っていてください
Yeah, we're gonna see like Shiki versus CL. The call cuts with a beep. I pocket my phone and stagger to my feet. CL is coming. She's coming for me. She can't help, but I still want to see her though. My fever is starting to take hold again. Praying that I don't encounter any passerby on my way to the crater, I shamble out of the park. Shamble. The barricade looms large over the deserted street. And then, yeah, he cut off the barricades, the glasses go off, and the chain goes down. Unbelievable, I've been keeping my knife in my pocket all this time without even realizing it. Well, I know why. So I could be ready to kill at any time. I swallow that bitter truth and slip through the gap in the barricade. I don't want to think about anything right now. As long as I do as CL says, everything will be alright. I make my way down through the broken concrete. The stacked layers of rubble bring to mind a giant staircase. They turned the climb into a one-way street. Even a child couldn't make their way down, but the return is next to impossible. Scaling any of the two major drop-offs would be difficult, but climbing them all in succession would be a grueling task, not to mention the danger of the steps collapsing under the strain. A reminder of how poorly suited human beings are to an animal exertion. The city sounds grow fainter with every jump down. The crater isn't much farther from the station than the park, but the noise doesn't seem to reach here. My pants are filthy by the time I reach the bottom. There's nothing down here but the collapsed building, our remnants, and the night sky. That said, it's not the barren wasteland I remember. Amidst the hills and valleys of rubble are a few pillars from the underground chapel that survived the collapse. I force my aching legs onwards until I reach the bottom of the basin. I can't walk another step. The moment I reach my destination, I collapse. I catch myself on my hands, ending up on all fours. as though I'm prostrating myself just as I ought to be. I'm burning up, but the feeling of losing hold of myself has subsided. I expect that what I did to Kohaku satisfied those impulses for a while. My stomach revolts. Bitterness floods my mouth. I haven't eaten anything today, so bile is all I have left to roll up. Ugh.
琥珀さん
No apology could ever make that right. Yeah, I want to go back to Kohaku. I want to see. An apology would only condemn me all the more. I don't think I killed her, but the thought brings me no comfort. How does it make this any better? How many days have passed since that moment? As I sank into despair after killing Arcuade, CL took my hand and pulled me back to the surface. So this is going to be very interesting, by the way. Yeah, as he mentioned Arcuade here. So CL, right? Let's say, yeah. She's gonna go to Shiki and she knows what's happening. And then what if Arcuade shows up? So what happens then? Let's say Arcuade wants to kill Shiki now because he's being taken over, right? So what will CL do? Will she protect Shiki? Join Arcuade? I don't know. She taught me that there's no such thing as sinners and saints, only people who can and can't atone for their wrongs. But how do I atone for this? How could anyone atone for such a callous crime, such a brutal violation of another? My world darkens abruptly. A shadow falls over me cast by the pale moonlight. Crunch, crunch, and crunch. I hear the harsh sound of boots on gravel. Someone is approaching.
懺悔の真似事ですか、遠野くん。
先輩
She's really here. Warmth rekindled in my exhausted body. I look up to the night sky, desperate to see her face. The moon. Yeah. Fully equipped though. You're gonna die, Shiki. Okay, so I guess let's take a break here for now. Shiki had an episode today. A really, really bad episode, I mean. But yeah. CL is here. I mean, I kind of felt it already that CL, yeah, she knew what was happening based on what Shiki was saying, right? And now she's here, fully equipped in battle gear, right? And yeah, she's ready. I mean, she knows that there's a fight that's gonna happen, and she can't just go there like lax or whatever. She needed to go there on full gear and be ready on whatever happens, right? So we'll see. So anyways, we are gonna continue this and do more of Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon, in the next one. So I'll just see you then. Bye bye.